Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So in the overnight session, we saw a strong sell response near the 26-quarter gap, and he has pulled back all the way down towards 0575 to 0775, testing yesterday's VPOC, where so far responsive buyers have been active. But given the bearishness that we've seen in the overnight session, we have to be a bit cautious here on the long side and see how the market reacts to 15 quarter to 17 quarter, which is the pre-market resistance zone. If we fail to get above that zone and continue to balance down here, then it could open the door for a continuation lower and a test of 95 to 98, which is the initial support zone and also the bull bear zone. And it marks the recent 4-day balance area low. So if that zone gives out, then this becomes a failed breakout attempt, and at that point, sell side would be in control, and we could go down and even test the 86.5 to 88.5, the 83 support, and the larger time frame support at 78 to 80. Now, by the time the market gets down into 83 and 78 to 80, you're also exhausting the range potential for the day, and you're testing larger time frame support. So that's still an area where responsive buyers can be active. But heading into today, we have to be a little bit more nimble with our directional bias and see how the market resolves this pre-market support zone and pre-market resistance zone. In the event of a breakout above 15 quarter or 17 quarter, it would be an indication that the buy side is regaining short-term strength, and from there we can test 21.5 to 23.5 and possibly 25.75 to 27 quarter, which marks the open gap and the overnight high. And beyond that, we have larger time frame resistance at 32.75 to 35 quarter, and that's still an area where responsive sellers can be active. So heading into the open, so far, sell side has been more dominant in the overnight session. The bigger picture is now a bit more neutral here short term, and how the market reacts to pre-market support, pre-market resistance, that's really going to help set the tone for the day session. If we fail at pre-market support, then at that point sellers could take over, and even though 95 to 98 is active support, the zone may not provide as good of a reaction anymore. Failure at 0575 to 0775 would be a short-term confirmation that the sellers are now gaining strength on the downside. They're gaining control, and 95, 98 would be the minimum spot that we would anticipate the market to test. But if it's going down there on heavy momentum, broad market weakness, then we may just get a pause and then actually test some lower prices. But that 95 to 98 is going to continue to be key support until it's taken out. So those are our main ideas heading into the open. Let's see how the market reacts to 0575 to 0775 and 15 quarter to 17 quarter. Right now we're just balancing within that range, and how the market resolves that range is really going to help set the tone for the day session. So we'll just keep an eye on those two zones and take it from there.